Video 3, hooks and uppercuts. So far we've gone over our basic stance, our basic footwork movement, our first punches, which were straight punches, our jab, and our backhand or cross, straight. In this video we're going to talk about our hooks and our uppercuts. So now the mechanics of this, the punch changes slightly. Rather than pushing through our back foot to have the power going in a straight line, we're now going to have to try and turn that power or lift that power up to get the angle that we need to get the power from the floor through our feet and into the punch. I apologise in advance, as I am as rough as a badger's ass. I'll do my best to make this video make sense, but I'm running on very little sleep and I'm full of man flu. But it's Sunday, the gym's quiet, or it's empty, so here I am. Video 3, here we go. So with my left hook, rather than pushing through my back foot, we're now going to use my front foot. And I want to imagine that we're going to turn the corner with that power. So as I throw a left hook, I'm going to turn the corner with this front leg. So rather than pushing forward with my back, I'm pushing forward to generate the power going forwards, and I'm going to use this front leg, and I'm going to turn the foot, I'm going to turn the knee, which is going to turn the hip, and then my body's going to pop over the top. Okay, so it's my front leg now. So this works very well with a 1-2 left hook. It sets it up because it gives you space, it gives this front shoulder space to fit in. So 1, 2, you see my left shoulder's now pulled back. I'm going to drive with my front foot, and I'm going to turn the power this way. Pushing through the floor, through the knee, through the hip, my body comes round and my arm pops over the top. That is the footwork behind the left hook. As we're moving up the body, however, there's a way we want to throw hooks and uppercuts in particular. There's two main rules how I teach in class. One is never bend the wrist. So we don't want to try and get the angle by trying to bend our wrist into it. The joint's too small, the shot's too powerful, and all it's going to do is just blow your wrist. When you first start doing this, you probably, on a bag, you'll hit it wrong and it'll really, really hurt the wrist. Until we learn, from knuckle to elbow, it wants to be one straight line. 1, 2, left hook. If we try and bend that wrist at all, you're going to feel it straight away. It's the same with our uppercuts. So we're going to create the angle with our arm and our body, not trying to fit it in with our wrist. You will pay the price if you do that. So rule number 1, knuckle to elbow straight. Rule number 2, what we're going to try and do, it doesn't always work. Specifically with me, I've dislocated my shoulder and I'm lazy with it now. It's almost, I'm anticipating a shoulder injury. So when I look back at myself throwing the technique, it's not always as clean as I'd like. However, if I'm teaching, what I want people to be able to do is when they throw their left hook, I want their elbow high. So as it comes through, we're going to try and bring the elbow high. Nice straight line. If we imagine our hand is the front cab of a lorry, and our arm is the trailer behind it. We don't want to drag that trailer. We don't want to hit the shot like this. We want to try and drive the power all the way through that shot. Lift that elbow up, drag it through. Nice straight line. So it's 2 little rules with the left hook. Don't bend the wrist. We want our arm nice and straight as it comes across. Nice and straight. I'm going to push through our foot, turn that knee in, which is going to turn our hip, and our arm is going to come over the top. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, that'll be 1, 2, 3. Bam, bam, bam. Now, rule number 3, very, very important. I see this all the time. All the time. People throw a left hook, they'll throw 1, 2, and they'll throw a left hook and they'll bring this back here. So they'll throw 1, 2. They'll forget to bring the 2 back to the chin, and they'll throw a left hook like this. I've had fighters that I've asked them, I've told them, I've shouted them at the class, get your right hand up, get your right hand up. And they've not listened and they've been knocked out in a fight. I've physically been in the corner of a fighter who's been knocked out like that, even though I've told them 100 times, when you throw that left hook, make sure this is up. Okay, so we don't want to be countered with another left hook and be knocked out trying to throw a left hook. So we don't want to bend the wrist. We want our arm nice and straight as it comes through, and we want to make sure our opposite hand is up. Again, like I was talking before, I like to say temple height. Open your hand in your glove and touch your temple. We went over that in another video. So, I'm saying lots of so's, aren't I? I told you I was tired. Boxing stance, neutral stance. We don't want to be too long with this shot. We don't want a long stance. We can throw a left hook like this, but it's going to be a different type of left hook. We'll go into different types on another video. And we'll go into different stances in another video. This is a bog standard left hook, so we're going to have a nice neutral stance so we can transfer our weight over either leg. Start practicing your 1, 2 from the other videos, and as your 2 comes through, or your backhand comes through, it's twisted my shoulders, it's loaded up my front leg, we're just going to turn the power over there. Boom. It must be a nice, what we call it, a C shape. If you're looking downwards, a nice C shape. We can throw a left hook long, we can throw really tight in, okay, but optimum, we're looking at around 45 degrees, I don't know, 45 degrees, C shape. I think it's 45 degrees, I have to check. I was never good at maths. The closer in it is, or the further away it is, the more we're going to lose that power. We want a linear line from my toe to my shot, so that transfer of power is coming straight through the shot. The further out this shot goes, the more of a flex of my arm, and the closer in, the less connected to that foot it is. Middle ground, middle porridge, it's just perfect. Boom, boom, boom. So we're going to practice getting that left hook working. So that's the basics of a left hook. When I talk about my right hook, I'm going to do something similar. I'm going to try and turn the power. So the right hook is coming through my back leg again. Yeah, so we've been used to throwing it through the back leg with a jab and the straight punch, or my cross straight. Imagine it as a backhand or a cross. It's the same mechanics where I'm going to start to push through this back foot. However, instead of my hand coming out straight, it's now going to, my body's going to move this way and my hand's going to turn at an angle. So it's going to be this side. Backhand or right hook is a lot easier to throw when we're in a short, aggressive stance. So when we start moving through different types of stances, I'm going to start talking about almost like a Tyson stance. And then the way I stand then, the power can drive much easier from both feet. When I stand in a short stance, it's more about power, head movement and power. But we'll get into that in another video. So for a right hook, we're thinking of turning the power to my left-hand side. So as the backhand comes through, boom, boom. Yeah, as my backhand comes through, I'm going to turn that shot. I'm going to tuck my shoulder in, I'm going to lift my elbow, I want to keep this straight. 1, 2, boom, boom, boom. Okay? It's a very, very good shot. It's quite difficult to throw at a normal boxing range or long range, should we say. Very good shot when we're in close, when we're getting close and personal. When we've got somebody against the cage or against the ropes, that's when I'm going to start throwing left hooks and right hooks. We can drop the level when we start throwing it to the body. We'll go over body shots on a different video. But a very, very good, strong, powerful shot. So, again, we're going to start thinking of the mechanics behind these shots. I want you to go over your jab, your backhand, and now your left hook and your right hook. Turning that power. Left hook, front foot, turn that power. Like you turn a tyre you turn a wheel of a car, you're going to drive that power over that side. Your right hook, you're going to drive with the back foot, but you're going to turn your knee in and you're going to turn that shot. Start thinking of turning the power where you want to put the power. They're your hooks, or the very basic hooks. Again, lots of variations, lots of different ways of throwing them, benefits and negatives to different techniques, but we'll do that in another video. These are just basic hooks that I want you to practice. Your left hook and your right hook. So now we're going to talk about uppercuts, and for me, in at least the novice ranks, uppercut is very, very underused, and it's a devastating punch. I've lost my voice so many times cornering fighters, screaming for an uppercut, or through the middle, through the middle. There's guys who are just throwing straight shots at each other, their opponents like this, and just taking the shots, and there's just a big gap here, just screaming for a shot up the middle. Uppercuts are fantastic, and they're one of the most devastating shots you can throw. I'm just making a mistake every 10 seconds with this video. Apologies. I will try and I maybe just do this again, the whole thing again. But I'm here, so I'll crack on. Uppercuts, we want the power to go up. An uppercut. So I'm going to use my feet to drive through. I'm going to lift my heels. When I'm throwing hooks and uppercuts, if you looked at my feet from behind, I should almost look like Elvis Presley doing his thing with his feet. Okay, they should be directing shots and the power through from them shots in different directions. If you ever see lads throwing left hooks and uppercuts and the feet are flat, they're not getting the benefit of the power. They're not getting the full shot. Okay, and I do see it in class quite a lot. Lads throwing left hooks and uppercuts and the feet are just flat on the floor. We should be directing like paddles them shots. With our left hook, our right hook, I want us to start thinking of lines again. Okay, so with our hooks, a line across, we're going to try and cut the head off. Boop. With our straight, we're going to go straight down the line, straight down the pipe. And with our uppercuts, we're going to go straight up the middle. So if we start throwing uppercuts like this, chances are we're going to hit people's elbows in the guard, and it's not getting a nice line of power directed up. When I throw an uppercut, I'm going to drop my head to the side. I'm going to try and thread the needle between their arms. So boom, boom, boom. Or bang, bang on this side. I'm going to push up with my back foot. Pushing up with my front foot. Pushing up with my back foot. And we'll try and get that on camera. I'll try and show you my feet. If I just keep my head straight and I try and throw an uppercut like this, it becomes an arm punch. Useless. And you drop over my chosen spring, okay, to use the power on that. So if I'm going to use my left hand, left uppercut, I'm going to drop over my left foot so I can then step that left foot up. If I want to use my right hook, right uppercut, I'm going to drop to this side, drop onto my right spring, and I'm going to lift this up. Again, straight lines if we can. We can still throw uppercuts like this, but again, like I said, you can hit elbows and the power isn't as linear as I'd like it. So start thinking in lines. Hooks, straight across, chop the head, uppercuts through the middle. A very, very good follow-on punch from a uppercut is a hook. They work really well together. So we're going to lift that chin up and we're going to take the chin off. Lift the chin up, take the chin off. Yeah, it works really well. That's not the sound of my bones and my joints. It's actually just a roller door that's going up, so apologies for that. Something to note with our hooks and uppercuts. If I'm throwing a hook or an uppercut at somebody, it means I'm close. It means I'm really close. If I can throw shots on them, they can throw shots on me, and that tends to be what's happening. We're in close and we're throwing these short range shots now, up close and personal. If I'm a short fighter, that's where I want to be. If I'm a tall fighter, not really. I want to be long. Yeah. If there's a big height difference, not to say I can't throw hooks and uppercuts. There's just a different way I'm going to throw them. But I'm in close most of the time. If I'm in close and I'm giving shots and taking shots, I must remember my guard. So I want you to practice throwing hooks and your uppercuts in a mirror and watch the shots and make sure whatever we're throwing, our chin and our face is protected. So start practicing throwing a left hook and making sure this is up. A left uppercut, make sure this is up, my chin's tucked into my shoulder. Right hook, hands up, chin's tucked into the shoulder. Right uppercut, yeah, this is what I want you to play with. Check it in the mirror, do it over and over and over again, then speed it up, slow it down. Then do it on the pads, do it on the bags, and video yourself. Make sure you're getting that guard up when you're throwing these shots. There's nothing worse than building in the wrong motor behavior, building in the wrong patterns of doing this 1,000 times, and that's going to be the real pattern. It's like, once you get a fold in the habit, it's hard to iron out. Okay, so we've got to do it right from the start. And this is a good thing about people coming into the gym who've never done anything, because they don't tend to have bad habits. So a lot of people come in and ask me, oh, I've not done anything, and am I too old to start? And the answer is no. If you've not done anything, it's actually a little bit easy because you've got no bad habits, or you shouldn't have. So when we're starting to build these techniques up, don't go too fast, slow it down, make sure you're doing it properly. Then you build the speed up, and as soon as you start making the mistakes, as soon as you start seeing the technique suffer, slow it back down again. And keep doing that until you can throw your shots at full speed, different combinations, and your technique is right, your guard is right. But again, like I say, specifically with our hooks and our uppercuts, we need our guard. We need to be tight with this guard. We start inside fighting and we're in close and personal, we're going to end up getting knocked out trying to throw a shot if we haven't got a tight guard. Very, very important. Something to start on straight away. The most powerful shots you've got are really hooks and uppercuts. But even a battle tank going into a battle has armor. It's no good trying to throw these big bombs if we're wide open, because we're just going to get taken out. Someone with not even much skill could take you out just doing wild windmills if you haven't got a tidy guard. So take pride in having a good guard when you throw these shots. Good technique, crisp technique. Okay, so not my best video by any means. It never was going to be. I feel rough as a badger's ass, as I said, and my camera keeps overheating, and the mix of the two is driving me insane, so apologies. We will revisit this in other videos. I want you to think of the basics of a hook. Keeping the wrist straight, from knuckle to elbow, we're going to have that straight, and we're going to get the angle with our body, not our wrist. You'll blow your wrist. I want you to try and think of not dragging your elbow through. Try and keep a nice straight line. Turning the shots with our feet. So if it's a left hook, I want to use the front foot to turn and drive my waist, my hip through. If it's my back hook or my right hook, it's the other leg. I'm going to use my right leg to turn that shot. Bring the knee through, almost like a golfer's swing. Uppercuts, we're going to drop to whichever spring we want to use, and we're going to lift the heel up, push the hip forward, and come up through the middle. Again, a straight line, knuckle to elbow. Right hand side, same thing, we're going to drop to the right hand side, and we're going to use the right hand spring, lift the heel, and drive through that shot. Think about our guard, think about keeping our chin down, and keeping our guard tight. I hope you've got something out of these videos, or this video. Again, apologies, it's definitely not going to be my greatest video, but we'll move on. I've got lots to talk about. The next video, I think we're going to start doing some basic head movement. So when we've covered our basic stance, our basic footwork, basic punches, variations on the straights, and then next time we're going to start going into our head movement, some slipping, some ducking, some rolling, etc. Just little bits of head movement. After that, we've kind of got the basics together, so then I'm going to start moving on. We'll start making things a little bit more advanced footwork, techniques, and then we'll start bringing in the switching, and we'll go from there. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Again, final apologies. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I'll try and answer them the best I can. And I'll hopefully be back with a better video very soon when I'm not feeling as rough and my camera isn't overheating every 30 seconds. Thanks for watching.